Let's break this down into chunks. Therapists as moral influencers. Here's the deal. Therapists think they can just sit there and reflect your words back to you, detached and neutral, like they're some sort of blank slate. They've convinced themselves they're just the mirror, and healing is all about talking while they stay uninfluenced. That's a lie. Neutrality doesn't exist. The second they open their mouth, the moment they listen, or even the look in their eyes, they're sending a message. You can't be a blank slate. Even if they think they're neutral, they still impose a moral framework, because everyone has a worldview. So the question isn't, where do they influence you? What the hell kind of influence are they bringing into your space? Think about a coach or a mentor. They'll never say I'm neutral. They have an idea of what's right or wrong. They'll say something like, if you're not working out every day, you're not serious about your health. That's imposing a moral frame without even trying. So if you want to shift this perspective in yourself, you've got to realise the moment you engage with someone, you're either reinforcing or challenging their worldview. You're influencing whether you like it or not. And it's not a bad thing to influence, as long as you own it. Now, why does this matter? Because when you own your influence, you can use it consciously. The moment you stop pretending that you're neutral, you start really understanding where your values lie. You can challenge others' beliefs, or you can help them to break through their stuck places by understanding what you're trying to pass on. Whether it's through the language you use, the energy you bring, or the subtle choices that you make, you're always influencing. Might as well be intentional about it. Anger, masculinity, victimhood. Therapists and society, for that matter, they've fucked up when it comes to labelling emotions and traits. There's this insane obsession with suppressing anger and demonising masculinity. No, I get it. No one wants to see toxic rage, but anger, real anger, can be powerful. It's like a pressure cooker. If you ignore it, it builds. And if you don't know how to release it, it blows up. Think about how you feel when someone crosses your boundaries or disrespects you. You get angry, right? That anger drives you to take action. You set boundaries, you speak up. It's a motivator. Without anger, you just stay passive. You don't fight for what you deserve. And that's where the breakdown happens with therapists. They've been trained to see anger as a problem, when it's actually the cure. It's like a fire that burns away the bullshit. It can clear space for clarity. But here is where the real magic lies. If you want to help others, or even yourself, own the anger, feel it, and then direct it. That's what power looks like, but only if you deal with it constructively. Unprocessed anger, that's just fuel for self-destruction. But healthy rage, it's like rocket fuel. Think of the difference between an athlete who channels frustration into their training and a person who sits around suppressing their rage, letting it eat away at them. One uses it to become better. The other becomes a ticking time bomb. So when you feel that anger stirring up, remember, it's telling you something important. It's a signal, a message. Hey, you're not happy with this, and you can do something about it. Why is this important? Because if you want to break free from the constant cycle of frustration, you need to start using your anger as a tool, not as a burden. It'll supercharge your motivation and help you break through barriers. Social media, pop culture, and the influence game. Let's talk about the shit show that's social media and pop culture. Therapists think if they don't address this stuff directly, it won't influence the client. Newsflash, it does. The problem is, it's not being processed in a meaningful way. You're stuck in your head trying to figure out how how to deal with a difficult conversation or a big decision. You scroll through Instagram or TikTok and boom, you see an influencer talking about how they manifested their way to success. Does it help you? Maybe not, but it plants seeds. Whether you like it or not, your brain is processing that shit. So what do we do with that? You have to consciously reframe what you're seeing. It's not about ignoring the influence of pop culture or social media, it's about owning it. Are you going to let some influencer tell you how to live your life? Or are you going to take that same energy and use it to fuel your own beliefs? Why does this matter? Because if you can't get a grip on the message that you're consuming every day, you'll end up following someone else's blueprint for life. And then wonder why you feel lost, uninspired and stuck. Take charge of what's influencing you, or someone else will. Now let's break this down using NLP and Ericksonian methods. Chunk up and chunk down. Chunk up, think big picture. Therapy has been stuck in a cycle of detachment and neutrality for decades. They're not addressing the bigger issues. How do we truly heal? You've got to think bigger than just talking about emotions. You need to think about power, energy, and how everything we say and do, it's a moral influence. This is a movement, not just a conversation. Chunk down, go into the details. When you sit with someone, you're influencing them. With your tone, your words, your body language. Even when you think you're being neutral, you're making a statement. Are you teaching them to express anger constructively? Are you encouraging them to bottle it up? This is important because it's shaping their experience of reality. Get clear on your moral frameworks and be intentional. Enlisting values and linking. What do you value? Do you value honesty, power, freedom, justice? Those values, they need to be embodied in how you communicate. Elicit these values from your clients or from the people you influence. How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to believe about themselves? Link it to the desired outcome. If you want to empower someone, you have to show them how their values align with the changes that they want to make. For example, if someone values honesty, but they're scared of speaking their truth, you can link honesty with their need for freedom. If you speak your truth, you'll stop feeling trapped by these lies. Isn't that worth it? Reframing the fear. The fear of anger, of pushing back against others' influence, it's real. But here's the thing. Fear is a sign of growth. The moment you get comfortable with fear, you start moving forward. The fear is just your brain trying to protect you from the discomfort of change. But that's exactly where the magic happens. So reframe it. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but growth happens outside your comfort zone. Every time you face the fear, you're building a new pathway in your brain. It's like the gym for your mind. Interrupt the limiting beliefs. We've all got these. Anger's bad. Therapists should stay neutral. Social media doesn't affect me. These beliefs, they're like chains. But here's the thing, you can break them. Every time you identify a belief that holds you back, you've got the power to replace it. You interrupt it with new beliefs, like anger is a tool, not a weakness, or influence is power. And I'm going to use it for good. When you start thinking this way, when you start recognizing that everything you do, say, or feel influences others, you'll start making better choices. You'll use your anger as a force of change, not destruction. You'll consciously interrupt the noise from social media and you'll use it to fuel your own beliefs. And as you do this, you'll notice your energy change. You won't feel stuck anymore. You'll feel powerful, grounded, and in control. Your influence becomes a force for positive change, not just for you, but for everyone around you. Remember, Power is not about being right or neutral. It's about taking responsibility for the impact you have on others and using that power to create the life you want.